Kia Sportage is a household name. The Korean firm sold a massive 90,000 units of the popular third-generation car since its introduction in 2010, but it's fair to say it was beginning to feel its age. So the fourth version of the family-focused SUV continues this trend. It has ushered in vast improvements in a number of areas to keep it competitive with accomplished rivals in the shape of the Nissan Qashqai, Renault Kadjar, Toyota RAV4, Honda CR-V and Mazda CX-5. We ran one as a long-termer. Read more here. Vastly improved driving experience. We were particularly impressed with the blend of ride comfort and handling. Major chassis revisions and a new steering system help here, while the engine choices offer improved efficiency for those all-important lower running costs. There are 4 motors on offer, a pair each of petrols and diesels, along with 6-speed manual, 6-speed automatic and 7-speed twin-clutch DCT automatic gearboxes. Kia Sportage is well equipped as standard. It carries Kia's Tiger Nose styling language, which seems to suit this size of car very well. The equipment levels are a simple 1, 2, 3 and 4 format, with a special GT line trim slotting into the middle and a first edition special model available for a limited time at launch. As ever with Kia, there's a huge amount of equipment built into most trims. If we're being brutal, we'd say that one specification is a little parsimonious, but moving up to 2 nets you a huge amount of useful kit, including a touchscreen sat-nav and reversing camera. You also get cruise control, parking sensors, DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity and automatic lights and wipers. It's this specification, plus the low-emission 1.7 diesel, that makes the Sportage work well as a company car. Right at the top of the range was a model built to celebrate the launch of the 4th generation. Dubbed First Edition, it had almost everything Kia can throw at a car, and is well worth seeking out as a used buy. Highlights of that car include automatic parking, a powered tailgate, heated and ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel and wireless smartphone charging, but only if your device supports it. Long Kia warranty, great build quality of course. Every Kia also gets the company's 7-year, 100,000 warranty. Not only is this transferable to a second owner if you choose to sell the car, but if you buy a car from an ethical used Kia dealership that is less than 18 months old, the 7-year warranty period is reset. But that isn't an indication of unreliability, far from it, because Kia has built a fantastic reputation for build quality over recent years, and the new Sportage feels better in this respect than any previous car from the company. Thanks to the warranty and build quality, Kia has managed to secure impressive predicted residual values for this car. That translates directly into low PCP payments, and at launch Kia was monthly payments starting at a barely believable £139 per month with a £3,700 deposit. One of our only major issues with the new Sportage is the boot, which is large but less flexible than some rivals, so make sure it fits your requirements before taking the plunge. The verdict: there are plenty of reasons to buy, or indeed lease, a new Sportage. Low CO2 emissions mean it won't cost the earth to tax, there's a long warranty, you get well-equipped versions, and it's practical, too. What you might not expect is how well it drives. When Kia was developing the Sportage, it used the Range Rover Evoque as a dynamic benchmark, and we can see why. It feel planted on the motorway, and light and maneuverable around town. And as an added bonus, it's also a nicely made thing, with a solid feeling interior, with a very comfortable driving position. In summary, a solid and capable choice. Read on to find out more about this family crossover with full 2016 Kia Sportage review. There's quite a range of engines for the 2016 Kia Sportage, and while none of the related performance figures are going to set the world on fire, the associated running costs mean this is still a decent proposition in its market. Diesel power: the bottom rung of the diesel offerings is the 1.7-litre Qashqai unit, which is available only with a 6-speed manual gearbox. It's got just 114 bhp and 280 Nm, taking 11.1 seconds to cover 0 to 60 miles per hour and hitting a top speed of 109 miles per hour. To be honest, this is the ideal engine for the Sportage unless you need or want an automatic gearbox. It has enough punch to overtake easily, isn't too noisy when doing so, and combines pleasingly with the manual gearbox. The gear change doesn't have the pleasing short throw of the Mazda CX-5, but it slots confidently and solidly between ratios. Set to be more popular are the pair of 2-litre diesels, with either 134 bhp and 373 Nm or 182 bhp and 400 Nm. You've got the choice of two 6-speed gearboxes, one automatic, an old torque converter design, and one manual. With the former it'll cover 0 to 60 miles per hour in 11.6 seconds with a top speed of 114 miles per hour, and with the latter it'll be significantly quicker, taking 10.1 seconds to cover the same sprint from standstill to 60 miles per hour. Top speed is the same. The higher-powered 2-liter diesel gets the same choice of gearboxes, but this time the 0 to 60 miles per hour time is 9.2 seconds for both, and top speed is 125 miles per hour. This is the other diesel we drove on the initial launch, and it worked very nicely indeed with the automatic gearbox. Sure, the box's tech is old now, and it's slow to react and swap gears, but this isn't a sporty car and we didn't find this a frustration. It was a pleasure not to worry about changing gear ourselves. Petrol Power. The petrol options are both 1.6 liters in capacity, one with a turbocharger, known as the T-GDi, and one without, called the GDi. The former is the better performer, with the option of a 6-speed manual gearbox or a quick-shifting 7-speed twin-clutch automatic. With its 174 bhp and 265 Nm, it'll do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 9.2 seconds with a top speed of 126 miles per hour in manual configuration, or 8.8 seconds and 125 miles per hour with the automatic. Our biggest issue with this engine is how hard you have to work it to make the progress described above. It simply doesn't feel natural to push the quiet, comfortable Sportage that hard. We drove a manual car, the DCT automatic is coming soon, and found the throw too long for sporty driving, too. It's missing the point, which is why we'd prefer the extra fuel economy of a diesel. With 130 bhp and 161 Nm, the lower-powered petrol engine only comes with the 6-speed manual gearbox. It covers 0 to 60 miles per hour in 11.1 seconds with a top speed of 113 miles per hour. There's been a significant improvement in the way the Sportage handles. Thanks to a sophisticated suspension system mounted on lighter-weight chassis components and fine-tuning specifically for the UK market, Kia has pulled off a minor miracle in building a car that we think drives among the best in its class. There's still a bit of body roll. This is an SUV, after all, but it feels incredibly composed and predictable. The all-new electrically assisted steering helps. The motor for this has been moved from the steering column to the rack, making the system more accurate and responsive. The previous Sportage suffered in this respect, so it's refreshing to drive one with it fixed. We tried both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive Sportages, with the latter able to send up to 40% of its power to the rear axle if the front loses grip, or split it half and half if you activate the center differential locking function for hardcore off-roading. We can't see the point, though, because the Sportage isn't going to spend much of its time off-road and there's loads of traction even in front-wheel drive configuration. Think very carefully whether you'll make good use of the all-wheel drive, because a 1.7-liter car is a very proficient thing to drive in its own right. Kia has put a lot of work into improving the perceived quality of the Sportage's cabin, and by and large it seems to have worked. The main dashboard is covered with soft-touch plastic that feels of good quality. Searching lower down the panels, the plastics get harder and scratchier, but they still feel incredibly hard-wearing. This is a firm becoming incredibly well known for its build quality and reliability, and we don't think you'll feel shortchanged with this interior considering the price of the car. We liked the 4.2-inch screen on the instrument panel found on 3 and 4 models, and the first edition, of course, but in terms of the cabin that's about the only reason we can see for upgrading, because at 2 specification it's still a nice enough place to be with the smart monochrome replacement. The touchscreen infotainment system, standard on 2 grade upwards, looks a little outdated now in terms of graphics, but we're pleased to report a speedy processor and responsive screen with clear and intuitive menus to navigate through. Plenty of firms get this so very wrong, including some direct rivals such as the Toyota RAV4, so it's great to see Kia bucking the trend. The driving position itself feels very good, with a slightly elevated situation and good forward visibility. Rearward view is hampered a little by a small rear windscreen aperture, but this isn't a serious problem, especially when models at 2 grade and above get a reversing camera and parking sensors as standard. Again, a big step forwards. As the ride has become more compliant thanks to the new suspension setup, it's allowed Kia to install some more supportive seats, and the combination is a good one. There's very little noise intrusion to speak of, with road noise only slightly louder with the 19-inch alloy wheels. wind and engine noise, and a problem for the most part, though working the diesels hard can make for a grumbly experience. There are 5 regular trim levels to choose from and 1 introductory special edition, but because they're so well specified, there ain't many optional extras to worry about. The trims are known as 1, 2, GT line, 3, and 4, or if fitted with all-wheel drive, KX1, KX2, KX3 and KX4. From launch there will also be a first edition offering significant amounts of kit. Standard Kia Sportage equipment. The base spec trim is called 1. All Sportages get 16-inch alloys, front fog lights, LED daytime running lights, cornering headlamps, black cloth upholstery with grey headlining, heated and electrically adjustable door mirrors, a leather-trimmed steering wheel, aircon, DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity, voice recognition, USB and ON jacks, and LED front map light, cruise control and a speed limiter. Moving up to 2 builds upon base spec with 17-inch alloys, a 7-inch touchscreen sat-nav with built-in reversing camera, roof rails, tinted rear windows, premium cloth upholstery, a powered lumbar support for the driver's seat, powered folding door mirrors with LED indicators, rear parking sensors, automatic lights and wipers, an auto-dimming rear view mirror, dual-zone aircon, a cooled glove box, lane keeping assist, automatic high-beam headlights and a speed limit display function. Slotting between 2 and 3 is GT line, which is the sportiest trim on offer. Highlights from the kit list include special 19-inch wheels, LED rear lights, front parking sensors, heated front and outer rear seating, a 4.2-inch color information cluster and paddle shifters for cars with the DCT gearbox. This trim comes as standard with the GT line exterior styling pack, which secures LED headlights, a high-gloss black grille, rear skid plates and dual exhaust tips. You can order an interior styling pack too, which means black leather with grey inserts, a black headliner, stainless steel scuff plates and pedals plus a D-shaped leather-covered steering wheel. Upgrading to 3 NETSU 19-inch alloys, a de-icer for the front windscreen wipers, black leather upholstery, rear USB jack, heated front and outer rear seats, a 4.2-inch color information display in the instrument panel and a JBL sound system including a subwoofer. Then at 4 level you can expect bi-xenon adaptive headlights with auto leveling and washers, front parking sensors, keyless entry and ignition, stainless steel scuff plates, a panoramic sunroof, LED rear lights, 10-way adjustable driver's seat, 8-way adjustable passenger seat, ventilation for front seats, a heated steering wheel, automatic braking, blind spot detection and rear cross traffic alert, a system that warns when cars are about to cross behind you. Upon launch, a first edition is available and has even more kit, including an automatic parking system, powered tailgate, wireless mobile phone charger, metallic paint, a decal set and 2-tone leather upholstery. Optional Kia Sportage accessories. Not a huge amount to report here. The paint schemes are the most notable option, while you can add further personalization via covered door mirrors, chrome sills and the like. A tow bar is likely to be a good addition for some buyers too. The level of safety kit on board depends largely upon trim level, but it's fair to say the Kia Sportage is a strong offering in this respect. It scored a maximum 5 stars in Euro NCAP crash testing. Even base spec cars come with cornering headlights, heated door mirrors, trailer stability assist, which uses the stability control system to keep trailers pointing the right way, hill start assist, which holds the parking brake on momentarily to prevent rolling backwards when setting off on a hill, downhill brake control, to keep the car stable when descending steep hills, and cruise control with a speed limiter. Moving up to 2 trim builds upon this with rear parking sensors, automatic lights and wipers, auto-dimming rear view mirror, automatic windscreen defogging, lane keep assist, which prevents drifting from your lane if you haven't indicated, automatic high-beam headlights and a speed limit recognition system. 3 grade models come with a front windscreen wiper de-icer, while 4s gets bi-xenon headlights, front parking sensors, keyless entry and ignition, automatic emergency braking, blind spot detection, warns of cars in your blind spot, and rear cross traffic alert, a system which warns you if a car is about to cross behind you. The boot measures a useful 491 litres with the rear seats up, an increase of 29 litres over the previous model, which expands to 1,480 litres if you fold them down. They don't go entirely flat, however, and while the boot floor itself is flat from the loading lip to the backs of the rear seats, the lip itself is relatively high, which might make loading heavier items problematic. We're big fans of the seating systems Honda CR-V uses, called Magic Seats, and it's difficult to award more points to the Kia due to its lack of these. We like to have seen levers in the boot area to fold down the rear seats, instead of having to open the rear doors as on the Sportage, and if the driver is particularly tall or sits a long way from the steering wheel, you'll have to remove the rear headrests too before folding. There's plenty of room inside the car for 4 adults though, with headroom to spare all round. The rear seats can adjust their angle if you need to maximize space in the boot, but they don't slide like some rivals do. If you want to pull things with your Kia Sportage, you'll probably want to pick the version with the highest brake towing weight. In this case it's the 2-liter diesel with a manual gearbox, which regardless of power output will hold 2,200 kilograms.